Hello and welcome everyone to episode 50 of the Midnight Channel. We finally hit the big 50. We don't have any special topics to do, but we are celebrating. We do have a new merch line done by Marissa, and we have a good cast. We are joined by Russ, Brandon, Brittany, and returning after like half a year, Ivan's back. Hopefully, maybe, possibly more consistently. he un- Unfortunate situations after unfortunate situations, but Ivan's back, and I'm really happy to have you back, Ivan. So thank you for making it. And yeah, so before we get started into anything, I did mention that we are celebrating with merch, and it was a big project. We had me and Marissa had talked about it 2 weeks ago, like that we wanted to do something. Hi, Lauren, welcome. And we completely forgot last week, and we brought it up again on Monday. So this was done in the span of a week, but it came out amazing, and I'm gonna go ahead and show it on screen. This is the new merch or design. The merch is already live. Hi J3, and here it is. It's our episode 50 merch. It is designed to look like a fighting game cast. And we tried to incorporate things from everyone in here. So every cast member, every guest that I've had is on it. So obviously it's me and Brandon at the top left, then Ivan and Berto and Lauren. In the order, there's things that we all like. So Ivan's based off of Ness. Berto has his mech on, his mech suit, and if you look closely, I would have to zoom in on it. If you guys see a little Easter egg, his bot name is Berto, but in it's 83R_T0. So it's Berto. Lauren has a Totodile hoodie. Lou is an IRL pic of him. Leafy's Korok. There's Marissa. Jerry's signed off of One Piece. There's Max with his favorite flannel. Ty with his camera because he's a good cameraman. Toaster Dog Chris, based off of Chrono Trigger. Russ, he's here right now, based off of horror stuff because he is a huge horror fan. So, and then Brittany, based off of Last of Us stuff, and then Keezus with Electivire gloves. And that is everyone. So, yes, Marissa made it. She is goated. It was a lot of work, but it came out amazing. So thank you all for being here, and thank you guys for the support. And yeah, it's live. Exclamation point merch gives you the link. If there's anything wrong with it when you get it, contact Teespring, not me. Teespring, they'll take care of you. I've had that happen before with other people's merch, and they just send me a free replacement, and they let me keep the one I got. So if it messes up after one wash, contact them. If it comes in a little faded, contact them. Literally, they're like super good about everything. So yeah. Now we can get into it. How's everyone doing tonight? Good?
Doing pretty good. I didn't know Cryo was a huge horror fan in regards to games. I also love horror.
Yeah.
Sweet.
And although I think Russ, are you into horror games too, or is it mostly the movie stuff?
Mostly movies. Horror games scare me.
Yeah.
I recently played one. I recently played a horror game, and it was like terrifying to me.
He wants to watch the other people be scared.
Exactly.
I know. I remember you mentioning that Resident Evil 8. You played that on stream, and that's what got you to play it.
Yeah, that's the whole reason I started streaming Resident Evil games, because I thought they would be too scary not to stream it, but I don't actually find them scary now.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's good. And Ivan, what were you gonna say right now?
I was gonna say I love horror games and movies. I like there's like not many horror movies recently that have been like decently good. The only one that I would say is like the best was Smile. But even then, if I wanted to watch like a really, really good horror movie, I just watch like the old ones.
What
And
Yeah,
for
that's what I
scary games,
prefer.
yeah.
What's that? There's an indie horror film that came out and it's been doing like crazy numbers. It's like Scummerink or something
Oh,
like that.
Skidamarink.
Skidamarink. Is that one good?
Yeah, I have not seen it yet.
But I've heard like that one is supposed to be super super good, especially on
Mhm.
its budget was like $15,000 or something like that, which is insane for any
What's it
film
called?
company.
Skidamarink.
Skinamarink. I think it's a like a found
Oh,
docu or
Skinamarink. I see it.
found footage type movie if I'm not mistaken.
This
Yeah.
actually looks pretty cool. I'd be down to watch this.
Today I wanted to see. It's not horror movie. It's more suspense. But if you guys saw Searching when that came out, Missing just came out, and I want to see that today. It was pretty good. I recommend Missing. If anyone has
Honestly,
seen Searching.
one of the new scary games I'm really really hoping for that's multiplayer is the Outlast multiplayer.
Oh,
Oh, I didn't know that was getting multiplayer.
yeah.
there's a-
That game's scary.
There's
that
going to
was
be
a
a
no
new
for me.
installment soon. I don't know when, but I remember there was a beta that came out or beta alpha where people were able to play Outlast multiplayer, Outlast co-op.
I only played Outlast once, and it was at inside of a friend's home theater setup, and so there was like surround sound, and I think I played it for like 10 minutes, and then everybody was like, nope, nope, it's too scary.
I also heard it might be free too, but might be misremembering. It's been a while.
I was holding shift. All right. I want to give a quick thank you to J3. I'm assuming that was him. I got alerts set up from Teespring, and it alerts me whenever people buy stuff. And so I think J3 just bought a premium tee, so thank you, J3. And I forgot to mention for anyone that if you don't want a T-shirt, there's also I think a hoodie and a tote bag. And I think that's it. I think I got a tote bag, a hoodie, and I think there's like a long sleeve tee as well. So. Thank you, J3, and there's your hydrate Sono. I'm not gonna really pay attention to too many of the redemptions, the point redemptions. I usually just leave them on so you guys can keep getting points, but I'll refund any that I don't do, by the way. Yeah, so let's go ahead and get into what everyone's been playing because it's been 2 weeks. And I'm assuming people have been playing stuff. I think the last one was very early into the month, so I want to know what everyone's been playing. Let's start to my left. Technically, right. Right. So what have you been up to?
So I've been weird with games. I've been slacking on Overwatch. So I didn't play like the first month of the battle pass. So I put all of my time into Overwatch. So I got to 70 last night.
Oh, okay.
So I'm now in a comfortable spot to where I don't have to just play that. And I've been playing Evil West, and I've been really enjoying that game so far.
What is that
It's
one?
like-
Because I heard of that one.
It's like a steampunk Darksiders. It takes place in like the Wild West in like the 1800s when they're just starting to like learn steam engines and electronic stuff. And it's about a war that's going to start with vampires.
That sounds cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's got like very similar gameplay to Darksiders, kind of God of War-ish. They're not really like. It's an action game, but it doesn't really have combos or anything. You just have like one attack, kind of.
Yeah.
I'm making it sound not fun, but it is.
The premise kind of sounds similar to do you remember The Order?
Yeah,
Like
the setting is
steampunk
very
versus
similar.
like creatures and stuff, except I think the order is more like in a city.
Yeah, that's very similar to that.
Unfortunately, we're never getting a sequel to The Order.
I know. I was so hyped for that game, and then it came out, and I'm glad I didn't buy it for $60. But I later did pick it up for 20, and I think for $20 it was fun.
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
Evil West looks good. I remember when it was like first announced, I was like, okay, it's a cinematic trailer, but then like more came up about it and it was like, okay, this looks good. And the reception I hear has been good. So happy you've been enjoying that. Have you been playing anything else, or is it just Overwatch grind and Evil West?
It's been pretty much just that.
Okay. All right. And then I'll move on over here on my side. Brandon, what's up? What you been playing?
Overwatch. Just Overwatch. And doing team stuff like scrims, and
Mhm.
then Kirby. That's been about it.
Okay. How far into Kirby are you?
Just finished the second boss.
Okay.
Oh,
I know that'll make Russ happy.
Is this Forgotten Land?
yeah.
Nice.
Yeah,
Uh,
and
a lot of fun.
nice.
A
Okay.
good time. It's adorable. I love how cute it is.
I remember you mentioned that it makes you want to cry.
Yeah, all the time.
Especially after playing Overwatch, you're like, finally, something
Yeah.
so heartwarming
Something
and
that makes
wholesome.
me feel joy for once.
Feel some joy.
Yeah. It's adorable. I love all the collectibles and I love all the like challenges for each individual place. So
Okay.
it's really, really, really cute.
Nice. Make sure to do a post game. I talked to a few people. They forget that, or they like don't realize that there is a post story to it. So
Mhm.
whenever you end up beating it, remember to go back to it and load it up.
Yeah. I'm shocked there is a post story.
Yeah, it's good. It's really good. Russ, you beat the poster, right? I can't remember.
I didn't beat the boss of it.
Oh yeah, there we go. No,
Uh,
but you got to it.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Let's go under you, Ivan. What have you been up to?
Me. What have I been up to? I
Yeah.
have been since the past like since last year. All I kept playing. I don't remember what I mentioned last time, but I have been trying to stray myself away from playing Genshin a lot and League a lot. So I started playing Overwatch 2 this at the start of the year, and it's been okay for the most part. Not really, to me, not the most engaging thing, but like something super fun just to play with friends and mess around. Uh, I have been playing Soul Hackers too, which has been really, really fun so far, and I really like all the new additions that they have in regards to just like how visual novels are. And it's just like a really nice step up in regards to like what things are nice for quality of life for visual novels compared to like Royal Persona 5 Royal. Like I'm not sure if you've I don't know. It's just like I know it's like very, very small, tiny details. So I noticed that like in regards to the character portraits, they feel way more dynamic than just like the still images with like just their mouth moving and their eyes, like in other visual novels. And this one just feels better, just way
Okay.
better. But I do know people keep complaining about it, and apparently it's just like very, very weak of an entry game for SMT. And I don't really have any big complaints about it, to be honest. I'm enjoying everything.
It's a
The only
beautiful
thing
game
that
too.
I love it. I love the theme music, the intro theme music that just plays on the on the PS5 screen. Love it. And I even though I really, really shouldn't because I need to finish Soul Hackers 2, I've also been dipping myself into the new Cyberpunk game. Well, not new, but like the Cyberpunk game that came out like a year ago on the PS5. And the
Oh,
only reason why is
action
because of
update.
the show.
Oh, the anime.
The show was fantastic.
The show was amazing, and that made me want to buy the game. And it was on sale, and I decided to get it.
Okay, cool. I know Best Buy like a little bit when they had too many extra copies. I know Best Buy had it for like $5 or $10. I can't remember.
I think they were giving out like the steelbooks for super cheap too, because I think they did like 6 different cyberpunk themed steelbooks.
I should have gotten it by then. Damn.
Yeah, there
Oh
was
well.
a I can't remember when it was. It was like when there was so much controversy. Like Best Buy every year does these like deals of the day. I can't remember if it's like November or December, but they do it where they have like super good deals on stuff. And on one of the days, it was Cyberpunk for $5 or for $10, and they had like a
Damn.
really good deal on like the Zelda Loftwing amiibo and the Metroid Dread Dual Pack amiibo for like $8 each, I think. So
I should have
Oh
grabbed
well.
a second set of Dread amiibos.
yeah, so is that all right? Cool. Anything else, or is that about it, Evan?
And I finally got a mod onto my PC where I can play Tony Hawk's Underground 2, but modded where it would have every single game entry map and characters. And so instead of having to pull out my GameCube and squeaking out the disc all the time whenever I want to play like a different map and just different gameplay, I could just load up my PC and just play the mod, and then it just has everything there. It took a while to find because apparently it's super hard to try and find like an emulated version of a PS2 game from like years ago, because the only thing you can get it from is like a disc itself, and apparently like the rest of the links for the download have just been eradicated.
Yeah,
Oh.
it's a game preservation. It's rough. It's game preservation is rough.
And there's
So,
like it's very scarce to find a PC copy of the game.
oh yeah.
I'm
No,
done.
okay. All right. Yeah, game preservation is in a rough state right now, but hopefully, especially with I want to do like a big project talking about it. But retro game collecting is tough. It's like
Yeah.
it's one of the it's such
You
a
realize
good
how long we've been trying to find Earthbound, the fucking SNES copy for so long. Still have not. I'm ready to spend $200, but I
that
need the original copy, not a repo.
that's what you're gonna have to spend. Like it's not gonna go down. Like people are saying that the bubble's gonna burst, but it's not gonna burst. It's gonna
Well,
stay like
it's already kind of bursted. Like if you look at the trend, it's not quite COVID hype, but this is the price that you see on eBay right now is probably the price that it's going to stay at for a while, and it'll
yeah,
slowly creep back
back
up.
up. Yeah. So it's like it's not even like a full burst. Like you mentioned, it's like partial burst. It's like it went down a little bit, but
It's like houses.
yeah, it's not gonna go.
It's like you're expecting a big drop. Big drop's not gonna happen.
No, yeah,
It's they're gonna shave off like a little tiny bit, and that's what we sadly get.
yeah. Okay. What about you, Brittany? What have you been playing?
So I my game store got in a copy of Parappa on PSP, and I
Parappa?
Parappa. Yeah, I was so
Yeah.
excited because he had some other copies, but they were Japanese, and I don't have a modded PS1 or PS2, and so I'd have to have it modded to be region free. And a freaking US copy of Parappa is like $100, which is a lot for a rhythm game. So I'm just like, oh, whatever. Like I'll buy it on PSP. It turns out it's a Japanese copy, so when I boot up the titles and I'm going to select stuff, I'm like, huh, that's weird. And so I look it up and I look at my disc's art, and it's the Japanese version. But I did play it, and man, that game is hard. Parappa's really hard.
Yeah, it's really, really hard. I don't know why.
But it's cool. I played that. I got Tetris Effect, I think, for $5. I played a little bit of that last weekend, and then I've been chipping away at Ragnarok every chance I get to stream.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I've been playing. And then I think me and Jeremy are gonna do the Left Behind DLC for The Last of Us because he's never played it. And in the show trailer, they showed a little bit of like the upcoming episode, and there's some scenes from Left Behind there. And Jeremy looks at me and he's like, "Who's Riley?" And I'm like, "You haven't
Okay.
played Left Behind?"
Yeah. Really? Oh man, we'll get more into The Last of Us, but man, that episode was good.
Yes.
We'll get more into that a little bit. So okay, and then now, I guess I'll go. I beat Sparks of Hope. I can't remember if I mentioned that at the last podcast. I think it's been like the last 2 weeks. So I beat Sparks of Hope. That was the first game I beat of the year, and then I beat my second game of the year yesterday, which is Ukulele and the Impossible Air. I beat that. That final level's a pain in the ass. Oh my god. I don't know. I know Ivan hasn't played. I know Brent hasn't played. I don't know, Russ or Brittany, if you've ever played Impossible Air. That
Yeah. That's a 2D one, right? Or
Yeah.
2.5D?
Yeah, it is. It is tough. They because it's called the Impossible Air because that's the final stage, and they try to take it as literal as possible. As literal as possible. They did
As
it.
literal as impossible?
Yeah. So yeah, but I did that, and then I was gonna start a game, and then I decided against it because I thought I would make the decision to just get Fire Emblem Engage. So I got Fire Emblem Engage. I think I'm gonna start it either later tonight. If not tonight, then tomorrow. And I'm gonna hope that I can beat it before Octopath 2 comes out, because once Octopath 2 comes out, I am gonna be putting most of my time to that.
I gotta ask, have you seen the memes for Fire Emblem Engage for the hair?
Yeah, yeah.
I saw somebody turn the hair into Sonic and Knuckles.
Oh no. There's a lot of really good stuff. Like it looks like it doesn't like it's like a really goofy story, but there's like some serious aspects to it, but then there's like a lot of goofy stuff in it. Like there was a cutscene that was shared yesterday with the main character and someone and it was just really dumb because he's like, so do we fight because they're getting surrounded? He's like, do we fight? Understood. No one matches your bravery. And then she says, no, we run. And he's like, huh? So it is like, it just seems like it's like a silly game. So I'm really excited to see more of the dialogue in it once I actually get to play it. But the game itself, it looks like visually really pleasing. Because Three Houses I thought was kind of ugly.
I was about to say that game looks rough.
Yeah, but Engage looks really good. So I'm excited to play it. I'm excited to get into it because this is the first pickup of 2023, and it's probably gonna be my only one until Octopath comes out. Which that's a good segue to the question that someone asked, asking what we think some of the stories in Octopath 2 will look like. Am I the only one that's played Octopath?
Traveler?
Yeah.
Yes.
I
Damn.
have not.
Damn. All right. Yeah. I okay. So all right. So I'll answer it. I don't know if there's anything new and specific that they're gonna do. I know they're mentioned that they're gonna interconnect more of the stories together rather than just the true ending, but I don't know to what extent. Especially if it's formatted in the same way, it's gonna be hard to do. But I know one of them will involve fighting God, so that's probably a guarantee. So that's all I will say on that. And we can talk about game releases now. P3 portable and P4 golden just got their console ports, and that's it. Did anyone pick them up?
No, I'm waiting for a physical.
Do you think there will be a physical?
If Limited Run has anything to say.
If Limited Run has anything to say. Okay, and Ivan, what were you saying?
The only one I would get is portable because I have Golden on the PC, and there's legitimately no reason for me to get Golden anywhere else but my PC. Like it runs so much better, it looks so much better. Also, what are these? What are these engage memes that I see right now?
Oh, you're looking at.
No, it's just on my separate monitor.
Oh, okay.
So, there's no reason for me to get Golden. Like Golden on the PC just feels a lot better, and I no need to have it on my Switch. And if I really wanted to play it portably, I would just play it on my Vita, right? But country portable, I really want to play it just because I have never seen or played the female main character route, which her confirmed name is now Kotone.
Yeah.
Which is interesting because apparently that was just like a screen that popped up. So it's like confirmed Makoto and Kotone. And I was really confused because I remember there was like multiple names that I kept looking at. It was like Minako, and all that stuff. So I'm glad they finally decided.
Yeah.
But I'm hearing rumors, and I showed like I don't know if I showed it to you. You were the one showing it to me. The rumor is that there might be a better remake coming out soon, and if that's the case, then what's the reason for me to get portable? You know?
Yeah.
But I need it to come true. I need that game to have a remake. I need it so badly.
And that's that's a like part of what I wanted to talk about. So I know last time I touched on it, but there was more news that was actually leaked or rumored today by someone. I would need to find it, but the rumor right now is that the 3 remake and Persona 6 are both already like late into development. Not like ready to go, but they're both late into development, which I assume the 3 remake would probably come out first.
Please.
But
Yeah,
Do you
it
think
needs to come out.
do you think P6 will come out on PS4 and PS5?
yes, I do.
Yeah.
As much as I probably don't really want that to be the case, I do think that that's what'll happen.
I'm just
Well,
curious.
what's wrong with
I know
that?
P5 was like one of the last games released on
Um,
PS3.
PS3.
Yeah, that's probably gonna be the case with P6. And to answer your question, I just want I want more exclusive next gen games. That's it. That's the only reason. I feel like Persona 3 would like following a normal business model, Persona 3 would probably be the last cross-gen one, and then Persona 6 would be the next gen Persona game. Even though that's probably not going to be the case, they're both probably going to be cross-gen. But the 3 remake, so they're both slated apparently to be announced in the summer. They were supposed, the rumor is that they are supposed to be announced this summer. No release date information that he knows, but that it confuses the guy because they've like planned to announce both the games, or at least the 3 remake, since last year, since the anniversary, but they keep delaying it or canceling the announcement for no reason, which makes sense because the anniversary logo that they had a missing color in it. It was white, but that was clearly supposed to be filled in at the very end. So they clearly canceled something last minute, which would probably be Persona 6.
multiple times.
Yeah,
Pushed
so
it back. They just need to announce something so people know.
yeah, so it's just confusing. But I think either E3 or Summer Games Fest is is when we'll hear about either one of them.
I need the remake. I need better models. I need quality of life, controllable party members. I need the answer, and a more engaging Tartarus.
You need to not be able to accidentally date multiple people. Because it just does it for you. 3 just does it for you.
I need them to bring back Yusuke and make him dateable this time around.
Ah,
For P6.
for P6, just bring him back. Oh man, I think Persona 6 is gonna be the first, not the first one. I think the second. Like, I can't remember if it was Innocent Sin that did it. The cast is gonna be older. I think the Persona 6 cast is gonna be an older cast.
Yeah, that was the first one was Persona 2, Innocent Sin.
It was Innocent Sin? Okay.
I think they were in college, right?
I think so.
Innocent Sin, and then Eternal Punishment were actual adults.
Yeah. I think that's what we're gonna do in what they're gonna do in Persona 6. They're gonna be college. They're gonna be college
way
students.
more relatable.
I think they're gonna be college students. Now the question is, I have for everyone, is Persona 6 gonna be multi-platform or is it gonna be Sony exclusive?
Multi-platform. I see no reason why.
I don't know. I think it'll be like Final Fantasy. I think it's gonna be a timed exclusive. I think Sony's gonna be like, no, but our working relationship, Atlas. You have to
Yeah, I
do
would
it.
think it would be working.
I think it'll be timed at like bare minimum. I think it'll be at least timed exclusive. I think Sony doesn't have like as much power as they did to like hold it to be a console exclusive forever, like it kind of was for a while. But I think it'll definitely be at least timed exclusive.
Okay. Rush, you agree?
Yeah. To me, Persona always seemed like a PlayStation game, so I kind of feel like they would at least maybe for 6 months or something have it only for PlayStation, and then bring it to other consoles.
Okay. And Brandon, do you agree with that?
Yeah,
Okay.
makes sense.
No, that's for Persona 6. Does the 3 remake, now that 3 portable launched multi-platform, does that have grounds to also be timed exclusive or completely exclusive?
I would say it also has grounds.
It also
I mean, it was originally released on a. If it's portable, it was originally released on a PSP. So I think it'd also be timed exclusive, possibly.
The remake would also okay.
That one I think would be more likely to be released multi-plat than the new game, because I think Sony will definitely want their hooks in the new game.
Yeah.
I don't know if Sony would have that much like money to make it worthwhile when just putting it multi-platform now.
But I mean, they like Final Fantasy though. I would say Final Fantasy is a bigger franchise than Persona in terms of popularity. And they have I think a year of exclusivity for 16.
Yeah.
And that's a mainline. That's a big mainline title.
Well, Square and Sony are sleeping with each other. Like
That's true.
they like completely locked down 7 Remake. They completely locked that down. I don't think that's coming to Xbox ever.
There's rumors that Sony is like trying to gear up to buy Square,
Yeah, I've seen those rumors.
which I'm kind of bummed. I wish they would have done it sooner so that way they could have locked in Tomb Raider instead of Amazon locking in Tomb Raider. But
Yeah. Yeah, that would have been cool. So, we'll see. But I'm gonna be optimistic and say that the 3 remake could release at the end of the year, with Persona 6 releasing next year.
end of next year.
Yeah, that's my optimism talking. Until
I can see that.
until it's gonna end up
All right,
being
Itachi, what will release first, Metroid Prime 4 or Persona 6?
Persona 6. I think Prime 4 is I think Prime 4 is gonna be cross gen. I think they're saving that. I think it's turned into a Breath of the Wild situation. But I've had like so many internal conflicts on Prime 4 because like Zelda has the IP strength to have done Breath of the Wild, and Breath of the Wild is the most successful Zelda game, and it changed it up considerably, went open world. I don't think Prime 4 is gonna shake up the formula. I think it just like it was being roughly developed, and then they had to restart because Nintendo didn't like what was going on with. I think it was rumored that Bandai Namco was developing it, and they just didn't like it.
I thought it was Retro not developing that one too?
Retro.
Or did they just develop the 2.5D ones?
Retro only developed Prime 1 through 3, and Bandai Namco started development on Prime 4 was the rumor, and then when it had to restart because Nintendo didn't like it, that's when Retro stepped in. So Retro is developing Prime 4, but they didn't start the development.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so it was started by a different unknown company, and then it was rebooted into whatever it's gonna be now. And I don't think Retro's gonna make an open world Prime game, although that was the initial concept of Prime 3. The initial concept of Prime 3 was to make it open world, so who knows? They could do it, but I do think that Prime 4 is now cross-gen. We'll see. We'll see where that goes. It's gonna be just interesting because if you guys saw, I think it was today, they just Nintendo just expanded like their projection. They just increased their projection of console like manufacturing. They're gonna increase production this next fiscal year, which is strange because it's gonna be its 7th year, and they're increasing production on it.
Maybe it's for that the Zelda OLED.
Yeah, it could be the Zelda OLED. It could be a lot of things. A lot of people are saying that that's confirming that there's not going to be a new console announced, which I didn't think in the first place. I've always said
You know what it
2025.
could be? Because I think they did trademark the name for the N64 Mini.
Mm-hmm.
They could be, maybe they're making another mini console.
I think they mentioned that it was specifically Switch.
Oh,
A specific Switch.
I got
but
a little hopeful there.
That would be good though. I wish they would do another mini. But I don't think they're ever gonna do another mini. I think they were done with the SNES. But oh well.
I'd love a Virtual Boy Mini.
That'd be. He's peeping inside.
It's a pair of like Google Glass stuff.
Oh no!
Little screens in there.
It's gonna be a little Labo kit.
I want that. Wait. Nintendo, write this down.
Write it down. Little Labo kit, little baby kid, just put it
That'd
in.
be so cute. I love the virtual one.
Yeah, I'd probably get it just to have it propped up somewhere, not even to use it. But
Then you can play Jack Bros.
Yeah. Oh man. Let's try to see. Okay, so we're done with Persona. We talked about Fire Emblem, but I forgot to mention it got a Metacritic of 82, which is pretty good. No user score yet. so we can't see that. That's a solid score. And I forgot to ask, is anyone... Ivan is. I know he is, but he's not here. So Ivan's getting Fire Emblem Engage. I don't know if anyone else is planning on it.
I got it for Jeremy. I don't know if he's gonna play it yet though. He's trying. He just beat Scarlet, and he's starting or he's trying to finish up Arceus Legends.
Oh, okay. All right. And Brandon, are you planning on getting Engage?
At some point, I wanna.
At some point you want to?
Yeah, at some point. I don't know.
All right.
Depends on how many Overwatch skins come out.
Okay. That'll take your money.
That's fair.
Yeah, there was a mock-up, a concept that was someone used as a thumbnail for a season 3 like speculation video of Banana Anna, and
I saw that.
I want that really badly. I would spend I would spend a unfortunate and sad amount of money on a Banana Anna skin,
Banana.
Yeah, banana.
especially if you can get Dole, the people who sponsored Monkey Ball. Like, and put this sticker on the side of it. Oh, I'm not joking. I pay $45.
I know you would. I know you would. That's
not
unfortunate.
more.
That's unfortunate.
No, it's very fortunate.
No, because Blizzard has you by the neck.
I'm saying.
they'll just shake you, and your money starts coming out of your pants.
I didn't buy Medusa Widow, if that counts for anything.
Because that's the pay to lose skin.
Yeah.
You're at a disadvantage with that one.
I lose on Widowmaker anyways. I don't think that was going to tip the scales. I mean,
So Widow is already play to lose.
absolutely. Well, she's very good in meta. She's just difficult. She's like a high ceiling. It's like she's difficult, but if you can cross that line of like being good with Widow, then she becomes like busted, because the ability to just turn any fight into a 4v5 off the start is crazy.
I love
I
I
mean-
love watching the pros when they use her like grapple just to launch themselves in the air, and then they just pull off shots from the air. I'm like, oh, that's so cool.
Yeah, in most metas, that would be what she's useful for. Is there's a couple maps you can, like Eichenwald. If you're attacking Eichenwald on that first point, you can grapple over the buildings and take a pot shot at them, and then back off into spawn, and swap off. Especially nowadays, where you keep ult charge. That's
Oh yeah.
what she's. But it's a one shot meta. Like, I mean, Sojourn one shots, Fog one shots, Widow one shots, and they're like extremely strong.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't want to go into a whole Overwatch field again.
We'll see what season 3. How many days are left of the season?
18 or 19.
Okay,
18.
so we'll probably get the next week, or in a week and a half is when we'll probably see season 3, which we're getting a new character. No, season 4 is when we're getting a new character. I forgot Ramacho came out this season.
Mhm.
But
That's
we're
every
getting
every 2 seasons we get a new character.
yeah, every other one is when is what they're gonna swap to,
Gotcha.
which it's gonna be 2 supports this year.
Yay.
So we'll see what they get. Okay, so we covered the recent releases. Let's go into the news topics, and it's a lot of sad news, unfortunately. Debatably, unfortunate news. There we go. Stadia's gone. I think it shut down yesterday or today. I can't remember. I can't remember if it was today or yesterday. But RIP Stadia.
I saw a lot of people last minute buy it for a free controller. Like, people were busting. They're like, actually, the Stadia controller is really good. I went in and got one for free yesterday because Google will refund you if you bought one.
Yeah, I heard that the Stadia controller was good. So.
I don't like it. It feels cheap to me.
Oh, you have it?
Yeah, I bought it a couple years ago.
Oh.
You get your refund?
No.
What?
Just too much effort.
Aw. Okay. It's like there were so many memes yesterday and like 2 days ago, like waiting for this to happen. I saw like someone tweet out saying like the only message they got on Stadia was someone like messaging them saying like, "Hey man, I'll be honest, it's not looking too good for us Stadians out there."
Stadians.
Stadians. It just has so much funny stuff from it. But I wanted to ask you guys if you think that Stadia dying is gonna scare certain companies or some companies from doing cloud, because that's what a lot of companies want. Obviously, Microsoft wants that, but do you think it's gonna have a major impact on the industry? Do you guys think it's like, it doesn't matter?
Maybe this is mean. I hope it does because I don't think the technology is there yet for cloud gaming. Like I've heard some people have good experiences with it, but I've also heard like plenty of bad experiences unless you have like really 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 good internet and like the conditions are 100% optimal. But until they can like really polish that technology, I don't like cloud gaming. I don't like that there's queues for certain games like Kingdom Hearts. Like why is there a queue for the single player game? I don't like that games lag on it. I don't like I I'm just not a fan of the cloud gaming model until the technology catches up with it. And yeah, I don't know. I'm not a fan, so I'm kind of glad that it's scaring the companies away because I think it'll push them to either make the technology better so that way everybody can enjoy it, or alternatively they'll just have to wait until the technology is up there with what they want to do.
Okay. Anyone else?
I agree with that. I actually tried the cloud gaming for PlayStation. I tried BioShock, and I actually had no issues with it. There was no input lag or anything. I think if the company can do it right, it's not that big of a deal, but I wouldn't want to see the gaming culture as a whole go to cloud gaming because, like Brittany said, that's a big ask for people to have internet good enough for that. And I think me being able to play BioShock was a relatively low quality looking game, so it's not like it's really graphically intensive or anything, but I couldn't imagine trying to stream like Forspoken or something.
Oh
Something like
yeah.
that, I could just never imagine would work.
Or even like a massive, or even like a big multiplayer game. Like I I I never did it, and I think it is possible. I don't know if it's only on Xbox, but I know like being able to stream like Fortnite, where you need a good internet connection, or you need an internet connection to be able to like connect with others, and then an even stronger internet connection to be able to stream it. It
Well, it's
just
like for example, like if Call of Duty came to Game Pass or to I guess Game Pass lets you kind of install it, but it's like if they wanted to do cloud gaming for something like Call of Duty, it's this big like really graphically intensive game. It's also online. There's plenty like if you're doing battle royale, I mean it's a massive world, it's a ton of players you got to load in. So it's like the latency has to be zero or you're automatically at a disadvantage in a game like that.
mm-hmm.
Hmm.
I will say, Lou uses xCloud to play Sea of Thieves, I think, and he says it runs no problem. So that's a pretty big game. It's more stylistic than graphically intensive, but it is still a pretty big game because you have to load up the other people and it has to be online. So
And ships. The ships are pretty big.
yeah, so it's well the technology will probably get there someday. I agree. It's not there yet. I think Stadia dying is like it can go 50-50 in terms of impact. Some companies might not care because Google's quick to disown things. Uh, but also if Google couldn't do it, which is one of the biggest companies in the world, oh, that's probably gonna scare some other companies that want to do it.
I think Google had a really bad model though for the games.
Yes.
If I understand it right, you buy the game but you don't actually own it,
Mm-hmm.
so they can just like yoink it from you and then you can't play it anymore.
Yep. You also had to be subscribed to Stadia, so it was a
Hmm.
subscription service. Plus, you had to buy the games for retail price,
Yep.
which
I don't that's another like big gripe I have with cloud gaming and the push towards digital is like on a PC that's totally possible. They can just rip the game from your library, which is absurd to me. Like you paid for at least that one license to play the game yourself. That's one thing that at least I will give consoles kudos for is that like PS3 games that have been delisted, I can still boot it up and play it and like on my PS4, like I have the PT demo installed. I can still play it, even though it's it's not downloadable anymore or anything like that. I can still have access to that stuff that I've purchased, or like the crappy Legend of Korra game I have installed. I still have access to that. I can still play it. But the fact that like with cloud gaming, it would just completely remove your license to me is just like such it's the worst. It's worse. It's horrible from a preservation standpoint because
Yeah.
it makes you unable to dump the ROMs. But also, like if it's a console, it's even harder to put the ROMs because somebody would have to make an emulator for that like specific thing. But with like a PC game, if they just take it off forever and it was only ever on like Steam, or I think in like Assassin's Creed's case, it was maybe on like Origin and Steam. Like Liberations is just gone, and I think they removed the license from people for it on PC. Like people were really mad about
Yeah.
that.
There's like a lot of stuff that they can do. Even yeah, like you mentioned, even if it's not just streaming, Stadia could do it, but it's obvious. But a lot of people don't realize that the digital games can just be taken. It just oop, one day out of your library.
Like, and it's not a big deal. Like again, with like Legend of Korra, I totally understand why it was delisted because it's not. First off, it's not great. Two, like Activision don't want to pay for the license anymore, and I totally get like companies wanting to delist stuff because it's like, hey, I paid for this crappy license game when this IP was popular, but to just like be able to remove it is like from like a perspective that like I paid for this thing, like I paid full price for this game, and I want to be able to go back to it like if I please because I paid at least for my specific license to use this game.
Mm-hmm. And it just it makes sense, but then like there's also like ones that suck to lose. So like it took so long to get I gotta remember the name of it. It was made by Ubisoft. I'm blanking now on it. It was a beat 'em up. It came out, but
Scott Pilgrim?
there we go. Scott Pilgrim. I was trying to say a Scott Pilgrim.
Yeah, like that got delisted just because they didn't want to pay for the license. And that's like that game was good. That one's a good one, and it took forever for us to get like a physical and stuff. And now
Uh-huh.
it's out, but it sucks because the physical was done by Limited Run.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when Limited Run, I mean, it's cool when they do a physical, but also it's kind of the worst when they do a physical because it's like, oh, if you didn't know that it came out at the time, you look back and it's like, oh, well, crap, it's $120 now to get a physical copy of this game that was originally like a $19.99 game.
Yeah. And also Minecraft Story Mode, because Telltale died, they had to delist so much of their stuff. And I think you can still. I think that's the only one that was delisted. You can still get Wolf Among Us.
I think you can still get Tales from the Borderlands.
Yeah, and they got brought back because Telltale was bought and by another company. But Minecraft, both season 1 and 2, there's no way to get them anymore.
And it's unfortunate. I mean, like again, it's not the end of the world, right? Like it's not like we're losing stuff like Final Fantasy 15 or we're not losing like The Last of Us or anything, but not every game has to be amazing in order to be like a fun experience. Like I love Minecraft Story Mode. It's such a silly, crazy concept. I love when they take Minecraft and they just like throw it into random game genres. Like I genuinely enjoyed it. And it's cool because there's a lot of like Ashley Johnson's in that game. And so is the voice of Lee from The Walking Dead, and just like hearing them in a different role is just like, what the heck? Like that's Ellie and Lee.
Yeah. With that,
there's also an episode. There's an episode in Minecraft Story Mode that they just bring in fucking Captain Sparkles, and it's just Captain Sparkles, and he's just in a murder mystery. I think it was like one of a Minecraft YouTuber.
It's so good.
Yeah.
Which we didn't know now. They were playing in a minefield, picking up Minecraft YouTubers.
Oh,
We're lucky that game aged as well as it did.
Yeah, I mean, I'd be shocked if like news came out about Captain Sparkles. I'd be shocked.
Yeah, he's been here for so long, and the fact that he's like one of the surviving ones, and he's just a guy, you know, not doing messed up stuff like everyone else has done for the past like couple years from old Minecraft YouTubers.
God,
it's crazy. I appreciate that.
Remember that the straight 2-year span where we found out so much horrible shit about people? It's like, oh my god.
Imagine loading up that murder mystery episode nowadays, and if it was like Lion Makers just
Oh my-
chilling there,
That'd be
you just wouldn't be able to play it.
yeah.
If,
Or
but
Tobuscus.
Jesus.
I think that was
Oh.
after
Green was
Tobuscus.
on there.
When Tobuscus was on a Cartoon Network show.
Skydust Minecraft pops
Dude,
up.
Tobuscus was in the Annoying Orange Show.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he was a main character. Not a
Oh,
side character,
no.
recurring one. Like,
That was a dark age for Cartoon Network.
yeah.
Oh yeah, they had a really bad time.
Like,
Everyone's just waiting for Adult Swim. Come on.
rough,
Oh,
rough
man.
time.
Yeah. Oh man, what were we just talking about before?
Telltale.
Oh
Delisting
yeah, yeah.
games.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Games getting delisted in cloud gaming opinions.
Yeah, with Telltale. All of you better buy Wolf Among Us 2.
No.
Everyone,
Did you say Among Us?
yeah, everyone better buy Wolf Among Us 2 because I've been waiting for that game for so long, and if you guys have not played the first Wolf Among Us, please do it. Please do yourself a
Too
favor.
bad. I'm not.
Ivan,
It's got Among Us in the name. You have to get it. Or you're
Ivan.
sus.
The wolves beside us.
the wolf beside us. Everyone, please get it. Please play the first one. So no, go away.
Also play Tales of the Tales of the Borderlands.
New Tales of the Borderlands.
Yeah.
There's new Tales of the Borderlands. Hold up.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
it's
Yeah,
like new Super
yeah,
Mario
one.
Bros. Except nothing like it at all.
Exactly. It's like New Super Mario Bros. Except not. It came out last year.
What? I don't remember
Yeah.
hearing anything about
It
this.
was. It's not made by Telltale though.
No, it's made by
Oh.
Gearbox.
It's made by Gearbox.
Oh, that's perfectly fine.
So if you wanna support Telltale, please buy Wolf Among Us 2.
No,
You know what? I hope Mother 3 never comes out.
it will never come out.
All right, good. What's wrong with Wolf Among Us?
Wait, actually, is this the person from Wonderlands? No way.
I don't know. All I know is that New Tales
I need
came
to check
out.
this out later. Yeah, I need to check this out
Well,
later.
all right, so no.
Dang.
There.
Oh.
There we go. I'm not having
Wait,
it.
what is
I'm
that?
not,
What
I'm,
happened?
I'm not taking it. I'm not taking it. I'm not taking it. I'm not taking the slander. Wolf Among Us is great.
I have
No,
Wolf Among Us on Vita, but
As
I
at
don't want
least
to play it on there. I've
At
heard that port's bad.
tell me
at least you
why-
have it. At least you
why
have
this
it.
is- What is the game about?
It's
You see, there's this wolf.
Yep.
and He's among us.
You play as Detective Wolf Bigby Wolf. And it's a murder mystery. It's a murder
Okay.
mystery.
Bigby Wolf sounds
Yeah.
like a Sonic character.
All right, see this. Counterpoint.
Counterpoint.
Play 999.
Plan
That's a murder
999.
mystery.
Yeah, I have it over there.
Play
Counterpoint.
Richard's Last Reward.
Play both.
Play both.
Play Richard's Last Reward.
Play both.
All right. If you play through those two games, I will play The Wolf Among Us.
No, I'll play
Wait, hold on. That's not a fair trade. Hold
yeah,
on.
that's
Wolf
not-
Among
One
Us
of
is like
them.
8
No, you have to
hours.
play-
Those
you have to
other
play
two
the
are like
first one.
20
You have
hours
to play the
each.
first one.
I'll-
The first one's only like 25 hours max.
Yeah, that's like
He
15.
said, listen, if
that's
you
like
do
15
50
more.
hours worth of games I want to play, I will play your 8-hour game.
You're 100% Persona 5.
You know what? I
Yeah,
agree
play
with
the
you.
first
Never
episode.
mind. I'm not taking the
Sit.
deal anymore.
If you complete
So-
the Overwatch 2 Battle Pass,
You know what, Sona? I agree.
No,
dang.
no. I don't know what he has against Wolf Among Us. It's the Telltale's best game. It's also like a Dark Fable tale. It's like it takes Fable. Brandon, what are you gonna say? You gonna say Minecraft? Are you gonna say
What
season
about The Walking Dead?
the overrated one? No, season one's great. Season one's great.
You take that back.
Season one's great.
I swear, do not disrespect Lee like that.
Well, no, Lee's great. Season one's great. Two's good. Three's fine, and I didn't finish four. Unfortunately, I
The
didn't
DLC's boring. I'll say that. 400 days or whatever.
I did also.
Actually,
I also didn't do it, but Wolf Among Us takes like Dark Fable tales too. It's just so good, so good.
it's like Shrek almost. It's got
Exactly.
a bunch of crossover with fairy tale characters.
Exactly. What were you saying,
Is
Brandon?
that that's how you sell you?
I'd argue that like Minecraft and Borderlands achieved more and
Yes.
told just as good of stories.
Tales of Borderlands is like, in my opinion, underrated. People should.
It's insanely good.
I think
It's
that's the
insanely
best.
good.
I think Tales of Borderlands is the best thing Telltale's ever done.
You're
And I
biased.
think
It's so good.
yeah,
I
somewhat.
love
but
it. Everything about it's just so
The
good.
music is awesome. I added the music instantly to my
Every single chapter was so
Spotify.
engaging to me. I
yeah,
love all
I,
the characters.
I still, to me, I still think the best intro to anything like ever is Tales from the Borderlands episode 2 is like the coolest intro for any type of
Yes.
media ever.
You have not
But-
seen.
It's like almost on point to the Borderlands 2 intro.
You need to see Puss in Boots: The Last Wish for the best intro ever.
Hey, be quiet. I haven't seen the movie yet.
Watch
The
it.
Shrek
I'm
spin-off.
trying to, probably this weekend.
Watch it. I'm telling you, that has one of the best animated intros ever.
I know you don't need to. You're like the 50-second person that told me. I know. I need to watch it. I'm behind.
I still need to see Puss in Boots and Way of Water.
What up, Sono?
I still need to see Trek.
You said
We're
Shrek.
no longer. Why? Because I'm tempting you out for a bad opinion.
A good
A-
opinion.
A bad opinion.
Telltale, when are we gonna get the Shrek game?
The Shrek. Oh no, I'd be terrified of a Telltale
Wait,
Shrek game.
Yo, okay. So, have you guys ever played Shrek Super Party? You guys should play that.
Is that Smash Bros. Shrek?
No, it's Mario Party Shrek.
Oh, okay.
No, Shrek 2 is where it's at. Shrek 2
Like
license
Pac-Man
game is where it's
Fever.
at.
If you
I
want to play
played it
Mario
one time
Party,
in college. I played Shrek Super Party in college, and it was like the weirdest but fun game ever.
All right, I'm about to ban Sono. I'm about. Are you talking about the movie or the game or both? Because if you're talking about both,
He said
Fine,
Shrek
dude.
2 fan. L, what do you mean Shrek 2 is the best movie in the Shrek quadrilogy? How many are there?
there's 4.
The trilogy?
Quadrilogy?
Quadrilogy. The game, the game's good. Okay, trust me. The movie. Of course, the movie's amazing. Shrek 2 is one of the best animated movies of all time.
Mm,
It's one of the best sequels of all time too.
yes.
So, nothing. No animated sequence beats "I Need a Hero."
What a banger. What a banger of a song.
It's great. It's great. All right, Sono. What animated sequence beats "I Need a Hero"? Okay, nothing.
I will say DreamWorks usually knocks it out of the park with their sequels.
Yeah. Thank you, Lauren. Thank you. Finally, someone.
Morbius 2,
absolutely
Too
not.
Fast, Too Morbius.
Too fast. No. Okay. All right. Let's get. We talked about the digital era. Now let's talk about something else that died, which was the Avengers. They're dead again. This time, they got snapped. They got snapped again. Marvel's Avengers by Square Enix is no longer receiving any updates.
Oh.
Yeah. So
anybody bought that?
I didn't.
Nice. I think the only person I know who bought it was my dad, and my dad was like, yeah, it was
What game were you talking about?
Avengers.
Square Enix Avengers.
Yeah, it's not getting
it's
any more
such a
content.
shame. It's such a shame that came out before Guardians of the Galaxy, because Guardians of the Galaxy I heard was actually good.
Yeah, Guardians suffered because Avengers was so bad.
Stinking Squeenix.
I was saying bye to Avengers. Yeah. It was not good,
I know my brother bought it.
which makes me sad.
Like the trailers and everything leading up to it, they looked pretty decent, but it just looked like when the game came out, I was watching my dad play it, and my dad says the game is generic because he plays every Assassin's Creed and like any like generic Ubisoft game. Like when my dad says something's generic, I'm like, okay, it's bad. I'm definitely not checking this out.
Yeah. Did anyone here pick it up?
My brother.
I haven't, but
Yeah.
I never played it.
Oh, you never. Well,
Like physically, I picked up the game case, but that's as close as I've
okay.
picking it up.
Yeah, I'm not. There's no point in getting it. It's probably at least the servers are gonna stay up. So if anyone does want to play it, it's staying up. It's just not gonna get anything new.
That's good.
I think yeah,
Square Enix at least treats their servers well. I know like some of their older games still have the servers up for their multiplayer, even though they're kind of dead, like Tomb Raider.
oh yeah, the Tomb Raider's still up, and that might be the oldest one that they have up. Actually, no. Let's
Is
see.
Hitman or Deus Ex? I don't know if any of those got multiplayer.
I'm not sure. I didn't play them.
Same.
Okay, but I mean, we can keep the bad news going for our last bit of bad news, arguably. Is the question of if Ubisoft is in trouble, because they've had a lot of constant live service disasters for one. They said Sparks of Hope underperformed.
Oh.
Now, a key thing for that is their expectations were probably too high, because there's a difference between underperformance and low sales, because the NPD released like 2 days ago, and last month Sparks of Hope was still in the top 15 games being sold in the US, keeping up with Mario Kart, Elden Ring, Call of Duty, Pokemon. Like it's up in the top 15. So it seems like it's selling well, but it underperformed to the standards. They canceled 3 unannounced titles, and they delayed Skull and Bones again.
That, oh my gosh, that sent me. I like read that and I was like, Ubisoft, if you're gonna cancel anything, just stop with Skull and Bones. Like, what is Skull and Bones at this point?
I read somewhere that they have to legally release Skull and Bones, because I can't remember what country, but like a government like helped fund the game, so they have to legally release Skull and Bones.
What a horrible investment. I think Ubisoft's biggest problem is they do it to themselves, but they like all of their games go clearance within like a month. Like
Yeah.
after a month is up, they're all like $20 off, and they do it. They've got to do it to themselves, right? Like there's no way every retailer and every digital platform out there is all like agrees in unison. Okay, guys, it's been a month. Everybody drop the Ubisoft games price by $20. I think Ubisoft just devalues their games so much, and then they
Yeah.
rely way too heavily on their live service.
Exactly.
They're like Assassin's Creed stuff. It has enough content to be a $60 game for more than a month at least. Like they put in, I mean, they're buggy and stuff, but they put in enough effort into each individual one, and they change up the landscape enough that it can hold value longer. But it's like they purposely devalue it. Even Sparks of Hope I've seen gone on sale, and it's a Nintendo property. They didn't need to put Mario and Rabbids down to, $10 and stuff when it first came out, and they don't need to devalue Sparks of Hope because it's got Mario to carry it. People look at Mario and they're like, yeah, I'll pay $60 for Mario all day, every day. It's a Nintendo property, but they keep devaluing it for some reason. It's very strange.
Yeah, and it's like there's I was listening to someone talk about it. It's like Ubisoft used to be the trendsetters, and now it's like they're stuck trying to follow trends, but they can't keep up because they don't know how to keep up, and they just devalue their games and launching products and canceling products and not being able to do it. They don't have a successful live
vision.
service. Yeah.
It's like they have like they're missing like a sense of direction. It's just sequel after sequel, and then like whatever the hell Skull and Bones is.
Yeah, and then there were rumors that they were like shopping around or like looking for buyers, and no one wanted to buy, and everyone said no. So
Makes me sad.
so that's where the question comes in: is Ubisoft in trouble? Does anyone think that they're fine? Does anyone think that they're gonna dissolve?
Yeah, it's just like a normal day for Ubisoft.
It's a normal
Yeah.
day.
I feel like they've always. I mean, maybe they're not in they're not usually in this much turmoil, but I don't know. Like I can't think of like maybe the last really 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 good game of the year nominated thing that they've released was probably Assassin's Creed Origins, got like a ton of praise, but it's because they took time. They took time with that one instead of following their like annual model. Like I know they need to make revenue, but if they want to make properties that are going to set trends and be innovative, like they can't crunch their team all the time to create stuff year after year. I mean, they have Just Dance for that, you know?
Yeah. Which they actually said that Just Dance also underperformed.
Because people are tired. I don't want to pick up a new Just Dance because I gotta buy half the songs again. It
Yeah.
sucks. I gotta pay for like a premium Just Dance service to have access to YMCA.
So I don't know. I it feels like with all the stuff that's coming out about them that they would be willing to be bought.
I think if anybody should buy them, weird enough, I think like why not Nintendo? Like Nintendo could just use them for third party support for their consoles, and also like I feel like if Nintendo bought them and gave them some direction, like maybe if it's just Mario and Rabbids for a while, like that may help them. Doesn't Ubisoft own? They own Rayman. I think
Yeah.
another 2D Rayman would be excellent. I think what is it? Origins and Legends. Those are both really really fun.
Yeah. Ubisoft would be a big get for Nintendo. They would have the Assassin's Creed IP too.
Yeah,
Uh,
I mean, with the other with Microsoft and Sony like playing who's got the bigger wiener with buying all the AAA studios, like, and nobody wants Ubisoft. Ubisoft's still a big studio with big IP names attached to it. If Nintendo is just like, yeah, hey, we'll take you guys for like on the cheap or buy just like a big stake in the company and hold them, and they could do some cool stuff. I would love to see more stuff in the vein of like Assassin's Creed Chronicles, or just I don't know, just have Ubisoft be more innovative and like exploratory with ideas versus just pumping out the same AAA nonsense that they've been pumping out that clearly like nobody really cares about.
yeah. I think so. I think that if Nintendo were to get it, it'd be good.
And like they have a good working relationship.
Mm-hmm. And is anyone else here playing Sparks of Hope, or did anyone else play it?
I haven't even played the first Mario Rabbids, even though you and Diana were very much insisting for me to play it like years ago, saying it's like an insanely good game.
Yeah,
I
it is
think
really
they're
good.
giving it out for free with Sparks of Hope, right?
There's one there's one store that
Best-
was doing that. I can't
Was
remember what it
I think it was
was.
Best Buy.
Really?
Yeah, they had like a bundle, but it was like $60 or like $50,
I see.
and it had Kingdom Battle in it, but I don't know if they're still doing it.
I think regardless, Kingdom Battle is still like 20
Yeah.
bucks most places.
Yeah. Now, the only thing that is like making me like think like I don't know if Nintendo will buy it is I think they are kind of steering away from having. I think they were trying to give the rabbits a more of an identity with Sparks of Hope, so that they can still do that strategy RPG without Mario. Like if they would like do other crossovers with their internal IP or something, or they would turn it into like a Rayman strategy game. And my reasoning for that is the DLC is not that story DLC with Rayman. Mario's not going to be in it, or at least not that we know of. They showed like a teaser for it and like a description of it, and it only talks about Rayman, Rabbid Mario, and Rabbid Peach. It doesn't mention anyone else. It shows the three of them, and it like the description says like embark on a journey with these three.
That's because they're waiting to announce Chris Pratt Mario Rabbit.
Please no. Another one? No. That'd be
Hey
Zelda
guys,
Rabbits.
it's me, Mario Rabbit.
No. I've always said that Zelda would be a good IP to crossover with Assassin's Creed. I don't know if they would.
I think a Metroid Rabbit would work, right? Because the whole game's based off of XCOM. I feel like
Yeah.
that's kind of like sci-fi-esque.
Yeah,
That's what Metroid Prime 4 will be. It's not gonna be Metroid Prime 4. It's just gonna be Metroid Rabbids.
that would cause a shit storm on Twitter. Oh,
I would be pissed.
even Russ is like, don't do it, not to my baby.
No.
Oh man,
Zelda Assassin's Creed.
yeah. What about Zelda
kinda-
Assassin's Creed?
It's kind of extreme, right?
Well, it
I
wouldn't.
mean,
It would.
Wait,
it
is
would-
it like Link in the Assassin? Is it just like a costume in Assassin's Creed, or is it
No,
like
they're
a
gonna
Link?
put Ezio in Breath of the Wild.
Yeah. Ezio's gonna go in murdering people in Hyrule.
I mean, Link does normally, anyways.
I know. I meant like it would be. It wouldn't be like a different type of game with like a crossover of it. It wouldn't like
Oh,
how
like
Mario
a Zelda,
Rabbids.
like a Zelda spin-off.
Yeah, it wouldn't be.
I'd be open to that.
Yeah.
I think Zelda could, like, if they did kind of a grittier kind of storyline and look kind of like a Twilight Princess, and they set it to like Assassin's Creed. Just don't make me do following missions because I hate those in Assassin's Creed.
Yeah. It's like how Mario Rabbids turned into a strategy RPG. Like that's what I feel like. Zelda Assassin's Creed would turn into a different genre. It wouldn't turn into. It wouldn't be a typical one. It would be a little darker. Which there was actually rumors, not of an Assassin's Creed one, but of a darker story or a strategy story that Retro wanted to make a strategy Zelda game in the style of Final Fantasy Tactics. And like the whole pitch leaked and everything, like the storyboard of it, and it was like, man, I wish this would have gotten made. It's never gonna happen anymore, but it would have been really cool for Retro to do that. But alas, it's not happening. So that's it for the bad news. We're done. That was a lot. There was more bad news that I didn't want to talk about. The stuff with Microsoft 343. That's even worse than everything we've been talking about. But I don't want to get into that because that's like discussing the actual livelihood of people, and it's just a sad
It's just
situation.
overall, yeah, it's overall depressing.
It's just a sad situation. But we can talk about good news or potentially good news. Doug Bowser is visiting Japan. Obviously for Nintendo business. But a lot of people were freaking out, and I wanted to ask you guys if you guys think it actually means anything.
No, I feel like he's just meeting there because that's where part of his where he works at. Like even though he's Nintendo of America, he should probably still meet up with the people over in Nintendo, over at like official Nintendo, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
He could be maybe getting some ideas from them. There's because Retro Studio is here in Austin. Maybe he's just like catching up with them to get more ideas for the American Nintendo studios.
Mm-hmm.
Just kind of sharing ideas and whatnot. But yeah, I think I agree with what Ivan said. It's probably
Well, my
business.
question is: was there like were people ever like super interested in like, oh, Doug Bowser is in Japan? Did that ever happen with the opposite where Itoi or not
Iwata?
Itoi, sorry, Iwata came by over to America?
Yes, because whenever he would come to America, it was always during E3.
I see.
And Reggie, I don't think never outwardly posted about him going to Japan, even though he definitely did.
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot of people were freaking out because a lot of people are getting antsy about a direct, and people are saying that he's going over there to record a segment for a direct, which I don't think you would need to go to Japan to record a segment. You could probably record it here.
Mike going to Japan to be there for the opening release of what is it? Super Mario Land? Mario Universal?
I think that one's already.
Yeah, that one's been out for a long
Universal
time.
Japan is already open. The one over here in LA, I think, is the one that's the new one.
That's opening next month. Yeah, so we don't know. I do think it means something. I don't know if we'll ever find out what it means. It's definitely business related. I think that he's talking similar to what you guys were saying with strategy, but specifically about the next generation. Like they're having meetings talking about planning, like making like a timeline of stuff. So that's what I think it is. Obviously, he's never gonna come back and be like, "Yeah, this is why I went to Japan." I don't think it's a direct because if he's in a direct, he's probably filming it here in the States, and they're just sending the video file to Japan if they edit it over there. That's if they even edit it to Japan.
They're talking about delaying Tears of the Kingdom again.
Oh, that would, oh, that would cause another riot. It would cause another riot. I don't think that game's gonna get delayed.
No, it looks like it's gone gold.
Yeah.
Or almost gone gold.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, so that's what Doug's doing right now. That's what he's doing. But yeah, people are getting antsy over direct, which leads me to ask, let's pin a date on this. When do you guys think we're getting a direct?
February.
Yeah,
Somewhere in
I'd say
February.
late February, like maybe February in the 20s, February 20 something.
I'm gonna say
When are they usually on? Like a Tuesday?
yeah. I'm gonna say I like the 7th. February 7th.
February 7th?
Lucky number 7.
When do we get a Valentine's direct?
Aww.
I think I want to say 7th as well, so that they can get one more Octopath and Kirby trailer out. Maybe the 9th, if they want to do it on a Thursday.
It's no good hard bets. I like hard betting these things and like with crazy ass prediction. January 24th.
But like this week?
Yeah, this Tuesday. This coming Tuesday.
This
Shout out.
Tuesday? In a
Yeah.
few. Okay, all right. There's your hard bet, Brandon.
I'm guessing February 21st.
February 21st.
Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna change mine since Ivan's on the 7th. I'm gonna go with a Wednesday. I'm gonna go with the day after Valentine's Day, February 15th. What was? Let me check.
What if tomorrow they just announced one for this Sunday?
So Sunday?
Throw everybody off. Sunday, Sunday, Sunday.
Check. And Russ, do you have a date you want to set? You want to pinpoint?
My first thought went to like mid-March for some reason.
Ooh. Mid-March.
Keep us in the dark for that long in regards to a direct. Maybe a mini direct.
Nah, if there's a full direct, I don't think we're getting good. I think March we get a Pokemon Presents.
Well, yeah, I think that's just a guarantee.
I think, but if there's a Pokemon Presents, I don't think there's like a mini direct. I do think this week we might get an Indie World, but I don't think we're gonna get a direct.
I hope so.
Indie Worlds are fun.
I hope we get more frog games.
More frog games.
Yeah.
Let's get more farming games. Like oh man, that September direct was filled with farming games. That also caused a riot.
People are so upset for no reason.
Yeah.
Chill out. I like indies. Indies run really well on the Switch.
Yeah, they do. It's really, really good for it. You need to play Omori.
I do.
Okay, so all right, so we all got dates set for it. Let's throw in another hard prediction, I guess. What's gonna be shown? Like just one thing. One thing you guys think is gonna be shown for sure.
Mother 3.
Okay.
All right, if we're throwing out impossible predictions, Metroid Prime 4.
No.
I'll just always hope that they announce something with Metroid Prime.
Oh, a trilogy remaster. How about that? That's
Okay.
a little more realistic.
Okay, a trilogy remaster.
Because
I
that's
want
been
that so
rumored
bad.
before. Same. I want them to redo this Steelbook, but as a cute Switch
that'd be good. Genshin
I would
Impact
spend
release
an-
date.
Oh,
Oh,
that's
wow.
true. Genshin is Genshin still not on the Switch?
No, it's
No,
not.
they announced it like 2 years ago.
What?
Yeah. It got announced really quickly, and then it came to every console except Switch.
Yep.
You know what I really want on the Switch? I want Hearthstone on the Switch.
That's also not gonna come out, unfortunately.
I want Netflix on
I
the
want Netflix on it.
Switch.
Yeah.
It's gonna be great though when Genshin actually eventually comes out, and it's like a 150 gigabyte download because they took too long.
Yeah.
I hope it gets announced when the new Switch gets announced. And then you gotta wait forever for it to come out on the Switch
I
too.
can't wait to finally play Genshin Impact mobily
On the go.
on the go. Finally, never been done.
Never been. No. Ignore the iPad version and the phone and anything else that you might be able to have an internet connection with.
The 3DS, no.
Oh, 3DS. Oh, that'd be. You're
Right
rough.
before the
So
store
many
shuts
pixels.
down.
Disney Plus on Switch. All right. Oh wait, Russ, were you gonna say something about like a hard bet?
No. I was gonna say I would spend a stupid amount of money on a Metroid Prime Trilogy Steelbook for Switch.
Yeah. Maybe we'll see.
They could honestly do a whole $120 collector's edition with a crispy art book and art cards, whatever.
And people would get it.
and it would sell like hotcakes.
People would
I
get
would buy
it,
that without question.
and people would scalp it too. People would scalp it.
Yep.
Okay, listen, no. And their website will crash, and
Yeah.
everybody will be upset again.
Yeah. Oh man, please don't do it. Please don't do it. Please don't do it.
Hopefully it's not a Xenoblade 3 thing though, where the collector's edition comes out and then they're like, "Sorry, the collector's edition is going to be sent to you, but you guys got to wait for the game."
Yeah. No, actually, no. It was the
Or
other
was
way.
it the game came and then
game
the
came-
collector's edition came out later?
Yeah, that's what it was. But that's because the initial release date was September, so that's when the special edition like got sent out.
That was silly. That was a silly release.
Yeah, I think it's a guarantee that we're gonna get the next Mario Kart DLC announced, and it'll come out at like around the same time as all of them came out last year. It'll be like March, August, and December. I think that's what it was.
Would it also be a stretch to say that it'll probably also be a guarantee to see more news about Tears of the Kingdom?
I think we have
Yeah,
to.
we'll probably get like another trailer, I'd say.
I think so. I think it'll be like a story blowout type trailer, or like we'll
Oh.
we'll see what makes it special.
I think we'll get a trailer maybe for Splatoon DLC.
Oh, that'd be cool. That'd be really cool. I think the Octo expansion shadow dropped, or at least like it's not gonna shadow drop if it gets shown. But the Octo expansion in Splatoon 2, I remember it got announced at E3, I believe, and I can't remember if it shadow dropped or if it just came out like a week after.
Yeah, I think it was. I don't remember exactly, but I remember it being like a really short window.
And if they do that again with 3, it'll probably be announced at E3. But if they show it off, I'd be fine. I would love to see it. I want to see the DLC. I want to see Pearl and Marina again.
Xenoblade 3 is also getting DLC, right?
Yep. I ideally, which they won't because I think they're on wave 2 out of 4. So they'll probably show wave 3. And then wave 4 will be at E3. Is what I'm thinking. Ideally, they do it like similar to a tournament release where they have their own cartridge for it, but I don't know if they will. I would love that because I have 1, 2, Torna, and 3 all lined up in the shelf, and it's so.
Hopefully, they put all of the DLC on the cart though this time, because Torna, there's a voucher right for part of the DLC, and then most of it though is on the cart.
So Torna itself is on the cart. The voucher is for the previous waves. So Xenoblade 2 DLC was similar to 3's, where it was released in waves, and Torna was the final wave. Torna was put on the cart. The previous waves, which were like more like side quests and blades and stuff, were a voucher. I think that's what's gonna happen here. We're gonna get a voucher for 1 through 3, and then whatever the big expansion is called is gonna be on a cart if we get a physical.
I think it'd be cool if we got another physical. It would sell. It would sell. Come on, Nintendo.
Yeah, come on, just do it. We're giving you
Nintendo,
money
make
ideas.
things. We'll buy them.
Exactly. Don't make too many things. I'm doing my student teaching.
We'll probably. When is the new Bayonetta game come out? Because I think if we get a direct soon too, we'll probably get another trailer for the
March.
Bayonetta Origins.
Yeah, March. So we'll probably see another Bayonetta Origins trailer.
I have a feeling that whenever Genshin does come to Switch, we'll probably get maybe a Bayonetta skin in that kind of style because it already looks like Genshin.
That'd be interesting. I don't know if. Yeah, that'd be really interesting if they do it. I don't know if they'll do it because I know they did Aloy.
Yeah, that's why I'm.
Well, what do you mean? You don't know if they did Aloy?
I know
They
they did Aloy.
and Genshin. They put her in, right?
Everyone
Yeah.
hates that character though.
Yeah.
Is she bad?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh.
no one likes it. There are specific Twitter accounts because it got mailed to people, and you have to accept it in your little like mailbox, and it said it expired in 300 days, and there were Twitter accounts counting down the day until they got rid of Aloy, and then people let it expire, and they didn't even claim that you can't get it again.
It's so weird.
I'm not familiar with too much Genshin lore, so
I-
I'll have to go check out memes on why she's
I'm-
bad.
I might be wrong about this, but I think she's the only character right now who doesn't have any constellation. I think
He
it's
is the only character that has no constellations.
so in Genshin, every character has 6 constellations. So you roll them for the first time, you get them, and then every time you get them again, you'll get another constellation, which kind of just boosts them up until C6, and then you have them maxed. And she just has for her constellations the exact same thing repeated over and over again, and you cannot get it. It's I don't even think there's a stat bonus or anything listed. I think it's just a generic phrase saying it's not available or something. Not like
Yep.
literally not available, but
That's
Yeah.
weird.
yeah.
Saying like maybe the stars will align.
Maybe we don't want Bayonetta.
Maybe we don't want
Genshin then
Bayonetta.
if she's just gonna get that treatment.
Yeah, that's
I
probably
mean,
why
the
we
only
haven't
reason.
gotten.
Yeah, I mean, the only reason why Aloy got in there was because Genshin was trying really, really hard to get like cross-platform play with just PlayStation because they were the only console that was just kind of like really stubborn.
Yeah,
Trying
no,
to get on.
I remember that.
And so like,
And-
all right, if you
and
want to
ti-
be on our console, then I want to put our character. And they're like, okay, we'll put in the least amount of effort.
And in typical Horizon fashion, it's just bad luck, right?
Yeah,
Aloy just gets to be the worst.
Horizon's
Aloy gets
just
to be the worst
cursed.
division.
I can't believe Horizon is so like everything's around. What's gonna happen to the VR game? I don't know.
I'm gonna like re-edit that meme where it's like leave Britney alone. I'm gonna be like, leave Horizon alone.
Hitachi,
What's up?
you didn't ask me my direct hard bet.
Oh, what is it?
It's the joke I made before. I made the joke before, but my hard bet is that Sakurai comes out of hiding to add another Fire Emblem character to Smash.
I hope so.
Is
Just
it
do it.
is it gonna be a Lear?
Yes,
It's gonna be a Lear?
that's Sonic and
absolutely.
Knuckles' hair character. Yes.
That's my hard bet. I'll leave
Dude.
Smash.
Okay. Yeah, I'll change my mine's Kid Icarus Uprising HD.
Do you think he can handle waiting? Well, I mean, who knows if he's even going to be a part of the next Smash game?
I think he
Do you
will.
think he can handle waiting upwards of like 5+ years for another Fire Emblem character to get added to
Yeah.
see Aaliyah? And I think of the name. I already forgot the name.
Yeah, I
Because
think
it's-
so.
There's
Like,
been so many Colgate
you
memes.
thought Sora was the grand finale?
Nah.
No.
Or
So another
Cinderace.
Fire Emblem character.
Your aqua fresh haired Fire Emblem character.
And that'll lead me to I've been wondering this for a long time. And I think we've talked about it in the Midnight Channel before, but I can't fully remember. It might have even been the last time, but when the next game comes out, when the next Smash game comes out, Sakurai is either going to be a director or like an overseer, like a coordinator. Like he'll just like oversee it. Like just give a
Consulting.
yeah, it'll just be consulting. One of those two. Is the next Smash gonna try to add more characters in Ultimate, or is it gonna reboot the franchise?
It's a tough.
Let's just remake Smash 64 with HD graphics.
And that's what it is. Like, so I've been thinking about like if like would they do that? Would they do like a small roster? Like, I don't think they could do with 12 characters again. If they did, that'd be crazy. But do you think they could get away with like a roster of like only 20 characters?
I think some people would be mad. For sure.
As a thing, because
I think
go ahead.
I think competitive players much prefer that, and they would be very happy with a much smaller roster.
But do you think the casual audience, most of the sales, do you think they'll be happy about it, or do you think
I don't
there's a
think
way
they
too
would
much?
care. It's
Yeah.
just another Smash game.
I think if they only did 20 characters and they gave me Space Embassy back, I'd be happy.
Oh, Subspace Emissary?
Subspace Embassy.
There you go.
Yeah,
there you go.
That one.
Okay.
The story mode in Brawl. I want that.
That I've been asking for that for a long time because I love Subspace.
Even if they just did the same game, like if they just did Ultimate Deluxe U HD featuring Dante from Devil May Cry, but with story mode, I would be good with that.
Yeah. So that's like another thing is like, would they just make Ultimate a live service game? They'll just update it every few years.
I'd be fine with that.
So
Paid like $20 a year, and they add like new stages and the story. Like the story mode would be so cool though. Having all those characters, they could get super creative.
they would. I heard that the two characters that almost couldn't do Ultimate because of Cloud and Snake. Like those are the two that almost like that they wouldn't have been able to do Ultimate. And I can see it. I can see Square Enix being like really picky with Cloud, and I can see Konami being Konami.
That's interesting because they were like all for giving up Hero from Dragon Quest.
Yeah.
I wonder if it had more to do with our good buddies at Sony.
That might be. That might be it.
You guys didn't give us Cloud for PlayStation All Stars.
Yeah, they said no for that. They said because Sony asked them for Cloud, and they said no.
I will never not be salty about that. I remember like when it was announced that Cloud was coming to Wii U, I was like, I hate Nintendo. I wanted him in PlayStation All Stars.
What year was PlayStation All Stars?
That was 2012, baby.
Yeah,
that was only like 2 years later.
Yeah.
That's the fucked up part. They didn't even wait like a half decade. It's like 2 years later they gave Cloud to Nintendo.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then the DLC characters that we got for PlayStation All Stars, we got Isaac from Dead Space, which was cool, and then we got Zeus from God of War, which like, I don't want to play Zeus. Lame.
And then they never attempted another Smash clone again.
I want PlayStation All Stars too.
I think they're too scared to do it again.
Well, the studio who did it, they shut them down.
Yeah.
Superbot. Rest in peace, Superbot.
Man.
I think they're in a better position to now than before.
Oh yeah.
Than 2012.
Oh yeah.
Yes. It's go ahead.
Also, because Multiverses exists and Nickelodeon exists, and they leaked the sequel to Nickelodeon All Star Brawl. And I'm forgetting one more. There was one other big fighting game.
Is it Brawlhalla?
Yeah, Brawlhalla was big. But there was one that was nominated for Fighting Game of the Year. That was big that I'm missing. Was there a Guilty Gear game last year?
Yeah, there was.
Yeah.
But that's
yeah, there's just
Guilty Gear Strive?
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot more of that I feel like is more mainstream than it was in 2012.
Sony has this wonderful ability to be ahead of the time. but like the worst. Like the Vita is like the precursor. It died so the Switch could live, and then PlayStation All Stars died so Buff Shaggy can exist.
Yeah. It's like, I don't know. I would think it would be cool, but then what happens with like if they do get Cloud? Are they gonna do another exclusivity deal? No, Cloud can't be in the next Smash game because we got him in All Stars. You
Yeah,
can't do that.
they could put different Final Fantasy characters. I would just want another PlayStation All Stars game. I genuinely like the mechanics of like having the 3 different ultimates in that game. I think it makes
Yeah.
for good strategy.
Hmm.
I liked like there were some characters that were like absolutely busted. Like Kratos, if you play Kratos, you're a jerk. Like just saying. But like all the other characters, I felt like is pretty balanced. There's definitely ones that were underpowered and harder to play than. But like I don't know, I had a blast. Like I platinumed it on the Vita. It was
Okay.
really fun. I used to play it with friends all the time.
I hope they add Tifa to the next Smash game.
That'd be cool.
That'd be great.
That's
I mean,
going to be like
even if Sony just gets like Lightning, right? Because nobody
Yeah.
likes Lightning. Anyways.
Yeah.
Just put her in. Just put her in.
Put it in there. What are you saying, Brandon?
Tifa being added to Smash is like going to be like the Knuckles, a shadow of that series.
Oh yeah.
It's the obvious number 2. It won't happen.
It won't. It won't. They'll add Barrett.
They'll add Aaliyah.
I want PlayStation All Stars to come out, but I want them to get all the reject characters from all the like Smash got all the good characters from all the franchises, and I want all the garbage characters.
Oh man. You know, I'm surprised. I really believed it. I really believed it would happen. Eggman is the only iconic villain that's not in Smash, like in any shape or form. Like not as an assist trophy, not as anything. Eggman's the only one.
Is he in the stage for Sonic? Or for
No,
Green Hill Zone?
I don't think
He's
so.
not even like a stage hazard.
In the
or
stage?
anything?
I think he flies in the background.
'Cause
I
thought he
know
was a
we can see.
hazard.
I know we can see some characters like doing our loop de loops, like their
Silver's in that. You can see Silver doing
you can
that.
see Silver,
No
Knuckles,
fucking reason.
Tails.
They put Silver in, but they didn't put my boy Eggman.
Yeah, the Eggman's not in anything in Smash Ultimate, and it's like as a spirit, he's a spirit.
That's a lot.
That
Can we
doesn't
get the
count.
Jim Carrey Eggman assist trophy?
Please, that'd be great. I'm rooting it. I'm rooting for Eggman. Please give me Eggman. We got Sephiroth, we got Ganon, we have Bowser, obviously.
Maybe Sakurai will come out and he'll be like, "Listen, I know I've sinned. I know I haven't given the people really what they wanted." And then he announces Eggman.
It'll be Waluigi. He'll finally get in.
No, they'll show the silhouette of Waluigi, and then like they'll reveal and it's Eggman.
it'll just slowly expand to be Eggman silhouette.
He'll do Waluigi dirty one last time.
Yeah, it'll be like a silhouette because their mustaches are close enough. It'll be like a silhouette, like a cartoon, and then a guy, he's like, "Oh, my bad," and he starts like blowing it up. he starts blowing it up.
That's why Doug Bowser went. He's gonna be the guy to blow it up.
Man, that'd be great. Man, it's just it's like one of my favorite things to speculate about is Smash, even though actually it's tough. Like when you put into perspective, it's already been more than 4 years since Ultimate came out. It came out 2018. So
2019.
what?
Well, it was 2019.
No,
It was 2018.
It was
December 2018.
at the end because it was during my finals year of Fall Quarter.
Yeah, 4 years, for a little bit over 4 years, and that is the gap. That's the gap between Smash 4 and Ultimate. Smash 4 came out in 2014.
What was the gap between Brawl and Smash 4?
I think that was long.
6 years.
That was
That one was pretty long.
6 years.
6
That was 6
years.
years.
And the 3DS version came out before the Wii U version, right?
Yep. But it came out only a few months, like 2 months.
It came out 2008, and Wii U came out 2014.
The biggest gap,
14 or 15?
14, I think.
End of 14, like
Because it
I
was the
think
same
November.
year as the PlayStation 4
Yeah.
release.
Okay, yeah, so it was 14.
The biggest gap was Melee and Brawl. I think that was 7
Mhm.
years.
Because that was 2001 and 2008.
Mm-hmm.
And then will
So
Melee to happen again?
yeah. So I was gonna say it hasn't been that long. It's in 4 years. Do you guys think they're gonna line up a Smash game to be in the first 2 years of the next Switch?
I think they're gonna pull a Mario Kart Deluxe. I think they're just gonna release Ultimate again and do the DLC characters and maybe add some stuff.
That'd be so hard to re-release Ultimate. I would imagine that's a licensing nightmare to deal with.
Yeah, with all the spirits. With all the spirits,
Oh.
they have to go because you have to relicense the spirits.
I mean, you could like you could drop the spirits the spirit list if you wanted to make it happen. But I mean, even then, because you have to deal with Square, you have to deal with Sega, you have to deal with
Disney.
is that's the hard one dealing with Disney.
Yeah.
It's just Sega, right? They wouldn't have to go. Would they have to go to Atlas separately?
No, it's just Sega. You know,
Yeah, probably just Sega.
everyone like always talked about this like Disney license being super hard. I honestly don't think it's that tough for them. Because I think Sakurai mentioned that like he was in an elevator and they like talked like he like talked about like the breakdown of how Sora made it into the game.
I thought the story that came out was that like that was the most difficult one.
I think because didn't they have to change stuff about Sora specifically? Like
They
I
couldn't
don't know.
they couldn't use the Mickey
Yeah, they couldn't use the
Mickey
Mickey.
chain.
Like they're super nitpicky about how they handle anything.
Actually, no, I think it is there. I think it is there.
I think
It's
the
only
Mickey changed
it's
animation.
in the trailer.
It's in the trailer, obviously, but I think it actually might be in the game. Let me look at his render.
In hand.
Yeah, it is. It is. It's in the game. So I know they couldn't use Donald or Goofy. Like they probably would have used it in his like.
Oh, I'm thinking of the stage. It's the glass pane stage, and they couldn't use any of the Disney princesses.
Oh, yeah.
That was like the thing.
Inside the heart, then like when it shows them.
Yeah.
They couldn't use any of the Disney characters. Yeah, so there's some things. I just think that Sora himself, I don't think is too difficult. Especially with how Disney licenses their stuff out randomly and it looks like, they're complicated, but I don't think it'll be impossible. Especially
Talking
since
about some of their games looking a little rough.
yeah. I don't think it's impossible, but I do think it'll be harder if Sakurai isn't at the helm. If it is a new director, I do think it's going to be harder. I think Sakurai will try. I think Sakurai will be like, hey, I gave this new director my blessing. I'm still watching the project, but I do think it'll be harder. I do think that Cloud and Sora would be the hardest to get back, though.
What about Sephiroth?
Same camp. Actually, that's actually a really good point. They they ignored. They said no to Sony for Cloud, and then they gave Nintendo Sephiroth in the next game too.
And Cloud, yeah, no, that was
Cloud
like,
and Sephiroth.
Well, I mean, it's like, I mean, it definitely probably hurt the pride, but it's also like on those things where it's like, you're not Smash. I mean, you don't. Maybe next game.
Sony said, "Okay, all right, I see you. We're taking Final Fantasy VII.
Yeah.
Have fun now. You
Yeah.
guys can't play it. Buy a PS5."
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that console could play it, even if they put it on that system.
The Switch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Cloud version.
Maybe Cloud. Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe Cloud version.
Banjo's coming back though, right?
The Cloud version.
Banjo would come back.
Banjo
I would argue that I would argue that it would be harder to maybe get Banjo than it would be Yeah, Cloud.
But
No,
Microsoft
'cause
and Nintendo are friends.
Yeah, Phil's actively talked about like in interviews that he's like, yeah, I'll put Banjo in it. Like people have asked him before, like he was able to say anything. He's like, yeah, I'll let them use Banjo. And I'm pretty sure
Didn't they talk about putting Halo on the Switch? Like that was like a rumored thing for a little bit.
that was another thing for a little bit. Phil has said that he'd be down for Master Chief to be in Smash. I think, and it's
That dude's-
like, what's up,
That dude's out of his fucking mind.
Phil? Phil Spencer?
Yeah.
What? What do you mean?
Well, yeah, because he breaks like every norm of like video games where everyone's like super protective of what they have.
Yeah, I know. He's like, yeah, I'll go for it. It's like Phil's like, he's like so
Microsoft is playing a different game in this industry than anyone else is. With like Game Pass and stuff. They are like they do not seem concerned. They just
Yeah.
they're playing their own game here.
they have two Microsoft characters, right? Yeah, Steve.
Oh god, I've got fucking Steve. What's that game? Oh my god. And the dumbass Enderman that's still Steve
Yeah.
height.
You know they're adding
Oh.
Jonesy in the next one, right? Like that's like unstoppable. They're gonna add Jonesy.
I want Villager to be added so that way every time he hits things, he goes, "Huh."
They're gonna add Jonesy and they're gonna have an Among Us Me costume.
Please.
They're gonna have an
Please.
Among Us Me costume.
I want Among Us for playable character.
No, I don't think they'll do. I don't think they'll do an imposter like character, but they'll do a me costume. 1,000% they'll do it.
Okay, listen.
but
Would you listen? Would you rather have Among Us or another Fire Emblem character?
Fire Emblem.
No.
Give me Dimitri. I can take Claude.
No, you can't. Byleth already uses all of their weapons.
Yeah. but
You're getting a
that's
Lear.
fine.
You're getting a Lear. That's what you're gonna
Yeah,
get.
that's fine. Yeah, Lear works cool here.
Or Lynn. Maybe they can finally add Lynn.
Toothpaste hair.
Lynn's here. Maybe they can finally add her.
No, that time's passed.
That time's passed.
They gave you Crawl.
You know who they'll never get though in Smash?
Who?
Cosmo Kiryu, Yakuza.
No, because the director's not there anymore.
Aw.
No, I'm saying never get them.
Yeah. The director's not there. He was the one that stopped him from getting in the game.
Really?
Because he didn't want Kiryu beating women.
Yep.
But
And then
he's not there
Sex-
anymore. He's not there to stop that anymore.
Oh
He's
no!
not
He's not there to stop it.
He's not there to
No,
stop
if
it.
anything, he should have allowed Super Monkey Ball to be on there.
Yeah, if Sega wants Kiryu to hit women, Sega will let Nintendo let him
Oh,
let him do
no.
it.
that's really funny. I didn't know that.
Sonic says beating women.
That's actually hilarious because
No,
it's
it's
like,
actually a true story, Brandon.
how do you fight that in the meeting? How do you try to
It's
convince
like,
him?
why don't you want the character? Because I don't want to beat women. But
Yeah.
You can't do anything. You just like yeah.
but
Yeah.
it's just for fun.
It's okay. He's beating a hedgehog too.
It's the sport.
But he's not there anymore, so
It's okay. They can beat him too.
he's not in those meetings anymore.
I do it out of spite now.
You do it as-
Exos, I do it out of spite.
Yeah,
I
so
email them.
we'll see. It's possible that Kiryu does get in.
I feel like
But-
we need more Capcom representation.
Phoenix, right? I want Phoenix
Dante,
Ace Phoenix.
Amaterasu, Chibi.
We need Ace Phoenix in Smash.
in. Ace Phoenix, stop.
Beautiful
Oh.
Joe.
That's a lot.
Just put all the characters, because we're never gonna get another Marvel versus Capcom. Because I guarantee it's gonna be too expensive to license Marvel characters now. Just put all the Capcom characters in Smash now.
I need a new Zelda rep for my soul.
Already
And
get Tingle.
And it needs to either be Skull Kid, he needs to not be an assist trophy, he needs to my favorite villain needs to get a character slot. I know I already talked about Eggman, but if it's Zelda rep, it needs to be Skull
You get the
Kid.
sexy fish guy.
If I get it needs to be Skull Kid or it needs to be all four champions in as like a Pokemon trainer type character.
That'd be cool.
I'll also settle with just Mifa.
I
I'll
want-
settle if it's just Mifa.
I want the Traveler from Genshin Impact to be in Smash. They're
I wouldn't put it.
They're not another anime swordsman.
I wouldn't put it
Trust
past.
me.
Like, there's so many characters that could get in, and it's just like, it's at how many characters, and we're still talking about characters that they can potentially bring in. It's just crazy, and that's why I find it so tough to believe that they will just reboot it. Like, I can see them just rebooting it, but also like, man, that's gonna.
Wait. We just missed out on an entire Zagreus from Hades.
Yeah, Zagreus could
Zag
get in.
would be perfect, dude. And give the stage like the beautiful Super Giant Games art style. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Like, okay, I just want to go back to a different thing. Like, I understand like the point I'm about to make here of like 9 Fire Emblem character added to the game. I'm all for. We do not need another Zelda character, not in the slightest.
Why?
Because like, I'd argue we have too many now. Toon Link is kind of pushing it. I mean, it's
You're right.
like
You know what we need? Another Mario character.
Get rid of Toon Link. Get rid of Don't get rid of Young Link. Redesign Young Link. Young Link should have you'll see a trend. Another Pokemon trainer type character where his down B he puts on different masks. They don't need to bring the champions. It's okay if they. I wish they would have redesigned Young Link. Wolf Link, stop.
Wolf Link or bust.
It's like we do need another one. We don't need another Fire Emblem.
I'm taking it. Fine.
I know
The
you
cool
will take
plans.
it. I know you'll take it, but
A
we
fun
don't need
moveset.
it. There's so many.
I-
It's because you've only played one Zelda game.
Well, I've also only played one Fire Emblem game.
Yeah, but you will suck Fire Emblem off now because of that one
Well,
game.
Well, I mean, it's like one of those things that, like, to me, I think like Smash at its like purest form is Fire Emblem characters. Like Morph is like, I think that's like Smash being played the right way. I think that's the best that characters really get in that game. And I don't know. It's like also one of those things where it's like from Zelda, it's like it's really cool to fight as Link. Link is cool. Ganon also is really cool. Sheik Zelda, that's cool. Young Link? Toon Link? That's it. It's not. I mean, you're kind of stretching the like. Oh, it'd be so cool to play and fight as them.
That's why I'm saying
Yeah.
Skull Kid or the champions.
That dude
Yeah,
just jumped around on a log. I don't
crazy.
know what
It's like-
Skullkill did.
Skull, you haven't played the game.
I did. Yeah, I didn't play Majora's Mask. He was in Ocarina of Time.
crazy because in Smash you can just be like, oh, I want to play my favorite character Mario, but what if I want to be a doctor?
Yeah.
What if I want to be a yoga instructor?
How the fuck did Wii Fit make it in that game?
Hey, you leave her alone. That's the best character.
We're
in
getting
Smash.
we're gonna
Hands
get
down.
the Ring Fit. We're gonna get the
Every-
Ring Fit trainer. We're gonna get the Ring Fit trainer next game. I guarantee it. I guarantee it.
Wii Fit Trainer's best character.
I get it was
He
like
teaches you how to
2013.
breathe.
It's like 2013, 2014, but we've never stopped and thought about like, man, they put duck hunting in that game.
I want you to think about that the original set of 12 amiibos, right? Somehow out of all of the iconic characters, Wii Fit was one of the first ever amiibo ever
Yeah.
released. And then
It's easy.
they're like looking at all the characters. Yeah, you know, we got Mario, we got Marth, we got Zelda. You know, put Wii Fit, you know, iconic. A classic character.
Yeah. So, oh man. All right. Let's go to our last topic before. Yeah, we already went on a really big Smash tangent, but I mean, I love. I've always loved speculating on Smash, and I already know it's gonna be like a nonstop train of speculation when the next one is finally announced. But the final piece of good news, which will be the last thing we talk about, is the Last of Us show. It finally came out, and the first episode is out at least. Next one comes out Sunday, and it's fantastic. I love that first episode. I don't know if anyone else has thoughts on it.
I have a lot of thoughts. I'm waiting for other people to go first.
The intro is perfect.
The intro,
Okay.
like the The
The
intro
opening, the
scene
opening, like,
or the song?
The opening, well, the opening like 15, 20 minutes that
Mhm.
is like Last of Us intro, the car scene and where everything starts. That if it fit the vibe, at least to me, it matched it perfectly.
Mhm.
Some of like so going into it, I was a little skeptical of the casting because I know so HBO tends to do this thing where they like to use actors and actresses that they've used before in prior shows. So I was a little nervous how it would translate because I think Pedro Pascal did like Narcos, I think for them, and then Bella Ramsey I think was in Game of Thrones. So I was like, I don't
Yes.
know if it'll translate super well, but like every single person just nailed the vibe of the character. Like it's not a word for word performance and it's not an exact clone. It's almost like they reshot the scenes and expanded upon them. So they just added more depth to the character and the changes that they've made I think is much more fitting for a show and also leaves a lot of speculation and like thought to be had for people who have of course already played the game. Um one of the things that I absolutely love is there's certain shots, especially like I think it's most noticeable when Sarah is in the car, but it's shot like how you would see in the perspective of the game, where you're
Yeah.
looking over her shoulders and you're seeing like even the way she looks out and sees like the farm on fire is how you would move your camera and see it like exactly in the game. But somebody who has never ever played the game wouldn't even notice like that piece of detail. Like it doesn't look off-putting, it doesn't look like you're filming a video game. It's just like the cinematography in it is so good it matches the way the game is also like filmed.
Yep.
So I thought that itself was incredible. I don't know how much into spoilers and speculation you want me to go.
Well, actually, that's what because I want to talk about something that is changed. I don't know how drastic it can be a drastic change. I don't know how they're gonna do it. I think you know what I'm gonna talk about,
Are you talking
but
about the way that people are infected?
no, not that.
Okay.
Ivan, you haven't seen it. Do you care if we talk about it? Like,
I can deafen.
okay. Well, it wasn't gonna be anything heavy. Well, yeah. So wait. So
I've got heavily spoiler things to talk about, but I can
Okay.
avoid. I can not bring it up
mhm.
if that. I don't want to spoil it for anybody or ruin it for anybody.
Well,
So.
Ivan just deafened. Russ, do you need to deafen too, or you?
No, I'm fine with spoilers for it. I have not watched it, but I am admittedly not a Last of Us fan, so
Okay.
I tried to play it when it first came out.
Cryo,
I
I
just
don't know if
could
we
not
can
get
be.
into it.
Cryo, I thought we were cool. Like we're both JoJo fans and stuff. But I don't know if we can be friends anymore. Like after that, that cuts me deep.
I want to try it again.
Okay. So, I will say, you're fine with it.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. If anyone's not fine with it, then it's your cue to leave. I'll see you guys another time. We're gonna talk about stuff. If you're cool with it, because the game's been out for a long
Spoilery
time,
things.
because the game's been out for a long time, join on the conversation. So they're going for the battery at the second hour of the episode because when when there's that big gap, they're talking Tess, Joel. They're talking about getting the battery from. I'm blanking out his name.
Robert.
Robert. There you go. They're going for the battery, right? In the game, it's because he sold their guns, not the battery.
Mm-hmm.
Also, Joel's trying to contact Tommy.
Mm-hmm.
In the game, they had a falling out, or it's stated that they had a falling out, and they haven't heard from each other in like 10 years. That's why there's like an emotional scene later in the game. In the show, they've clearly been in contact, and Joel's worried because he hasn't responded in a while. And I'm wondering later in the show, like what's gonna happen, because it's following all the important beats. Like, is it gonna be that big of a change? Because it's like his entire motivation is different. He's doing it so he can get a battery instead of supplies anymore.
So for me, I think the change in motivation makes more sense from a show perspective, right? Because if your motivation is that like you've got this guy, he's already you've already like noticed that he's very uncaring and unfeeling. I think it's a more significant driving factor for him to be getting a battery to go see his brother, and it's going to be a more emotional impact later when we get to see him reunited with his brother. But also, I think it acts as a bigger motivator for why he is willing to smuggle Ellie versus just for some guns.
Okay, yeah.
So I think that was done from like a show perspective, because I think it's more it pushes the plot, and it's a bigger motivator. So I think like it's a better change from like a show running perspective.
Yeah, I agree with that. I was like, how would they translate the guns thing? And I was like, okay, so they added it where he's actually after a battery, and I also agree it's a good change. I'm just interested to see how the payoff is going to be. But there's something you wanted to talk about. What's going on?
Yeah, so mine was more, a lot of my focus hit more on the first part of it, because I'm curious, because it was already said before the show came out that they're not doing spores this time around. They wanted to do something different. And so um what I was kind of interested in is, I'm like, okay, how is the infection going to work this time around? And this is kind of spoiler territory, but also I guess it was said in an interview, so it's kind of mild spoilers. But so the infection this time around is not so much they breathe spores and that's how you get infected. How they infect is actually, if you look at the kind of opening of the show and you see Nana, um, in her mouth, it looks a lot like hair when she's eating or like biting another character. What it actually is fungus tendrils. And the idea is that the fungus, and it's kind of explained in the beginning of the show when the scientist is talking about, the fungus's whole idea is to keep its host alive so that way it can spread to other hosts. And so if it kills every single host and eats them, then ultimately the fungus will die out, right? So the idea of the fungus is that it keeps its host alive so the host can go and continue to eat other living things or infect more and kind of spread more. And so then you have to wonder, well, if it's not spores and they're not like, I mean, they are biting to infect other people, but what caused it, right? If it's not spores and it's not them breathing in spores, what caused it? And again, big spoiler warning here for anybody who hasn't heard the interview, but it's revealed, I guess, later, at least that's what they're saying. And there's even kind of some like there's a Last of Us companion podcast that they did for both the first game, they did it for the DLC, and then they did it for the second game, and now they're doing it for the show. But they said there's some breadcrumbs in the show already that kind of explains it, and people have relayed that back to this interview that I think they had with either one of the creators or one of the actors that said it's flour. And
Yeah,
if that makes total sense, because Nana, the only thing that she eats, she's eating cookies, she's eating biscuits, she's eating all sorts of things with flour, infected flour, because flour, like you need yeast and stuff to make bread. But that also makes sense that Tommy, Sarah, and Joel were conveniently not infected because they didn't eat any of that stuff from the neighbors. And also Joel doesn't eat the pancakes and he doesn't go get the cake for the birthday.
and they couldn't get the pancake mix. And I saw a theory about that on TikTok. I saw a theory about that on TikTok, and to back it up, there was a hint of that in the game. There was a hint of that in the game where that's how it started. Where in the game, there was like a newspaper that you can find that talks about a fungal infection in wheat, and they had to recall it. Excuse me. And then they like talked about one of the country that they mentioned, or the place that they mentioned. I can't remember what it was. That's like one of the biggest wheat suppliers, or it is the biggest wheat supplier in the world. more, so more reinforcing the theory that it was the wheat and the flour and everything that caused everything.
Like it caused the initial outbreak.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's because that wasn't like that was the only bit that it was touched upon in the game. So I think it's interesting that like that's going to be the root cause of it in this game.
Mm-hmm.
I'm kind of curious how basically like more infected will come to be in the like later stages of the game, but I guess it makes sense kind of, the natural progression is that they start out as like a runner and then it goes to a stalker and then slowly like the fungus slowly like takes over more and more of the person.
Yeah, there's a hidden clicker in episode 1 at the very end.
Yeah, and the big apartment building. Also, oh my gosh, Depeche Mode
Mm-hmm.
as the outro was just golden. Like that was great.
It was just so well done the entire way through. There was only one moment where I was like, I kind of wish they would have stayed on that a little bit more. Everything,
Which one was that?
When Ellie's telling them that she's not infected, and they're like,
Yeah.
and they just rolled with it like, okay, and then they just obviously they
think-
they had to run, but
Yeah, I was about to say it's kind of like that in the game though. There's a very abrupt pacing. I think it could have been prolonged a little bit in the show.
yeah, I think it was even shorter in the show than in the game though, because in the game, like Tess is pointing the gun at Ellie, like she's about to kill her. In the show, Tess doesn't even aim at anything. He just says she's infected, and she's like no, and then Tess like okay, let's go, and so I kind of hope that the next episode starts with Ellie trying to convince them a little bit more.
Yeah, I think they will. Like I have a feeling they will. I mean, I guess if not, then it's kind of they seem to be leaning more heavily because it wasn't really. They did that whole like flashback sequence right with Joel and the soldier when the soldier aims his gun at Ellie, where it's like, oh, it's my
Mhm.
daughter all over again, which is not. I think it was the angle that they were like subtly hinting at in the game, but they showed it in the show. So I think yeah, I don't know, maybe Joel has more of that like parental attachment faster in the show than he does in the game because they like you said they questioned it a little bit more.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we'll see where it goes. And Brandon, you're gonna watch it with us every Sunday, right?
Try to.
No, try to. Did you like the first episode?
Yeah, it was really good.
All right. Because I know you never played the games, but I know you know the story of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, so. Okay.
What makes me happy is that a lot of people who haven't played the game are getting to experience it. Like, because I get it. Like, some people just don't like the gameplay of The Last of Us. Some people find it slow. Some people don't like a ton of cutscenes in their games. But as, like, a show, I'm hoping that, like, people will still be able to enjoy the story and they'll be able to talk to, like, their friends who are huge fans of the game. So, like,
Yeah.
talk to me, please.
My mom watched the first episode.
Yeah, and a big thing is like my parents watched the Witcher show on Netflix and they didn't know it was a video game. I had to tell them.
Show them The Last of Us.
Yeah, I haven't had a chance to mention it to them yet, but they love like HBO shows and stuff.
Yeah.
My dad got into the Witcher show before he played the game.
Yeah. My mom's watching she watched the first episode of The Last of Us. I told her a little bit about it. She's like, okay, it sounds interesting. So she wanted to watch it.
Who cried?
Oh man.
No, I was anticipating it. I was like, and then I was like, it was getting closer, and Jeremy like kept looking at me, and then like as soon as the scene hit, I'm like, and he's like, he like puts his hand on my shoulder, and he's like,
there. It's just it's a very good adaptation, and it makes me very happy because we went so long with video game adaptations not doing good.
I will say I disagree strongly that The Last of Us is the one that broke the curse because
No, it's not.
Castlevania is a great adaptation, Cyberpunk is a great adaptation, Sonic is a great adaptation, Uncharted is lukewarm. It's not the worst, but it's also not Assassin's Creed, which is the worst video game adaptation piece of film anything ever.
Oh yeah, I agree. There's people saying that, there's people like using that as clickbait. I'm like, come on, dude. We've been out of this slump for a while, but this just it does reinforce it. Like Last of Us reinforcing it makes me really happy. But no, it's not the one that broke it. People are over exaggerating all the time.
Like
Or
The Witcher,
Arcane.
Arcane, yeah, like Arcane. The
That was like
Witcher.
2 years ago.
Yeah. So people need to stop with that. People need to stop doing that.
I was like, let me bonk you. I was like, have you ever watched an animated show in your life?
All right. Well, I know, Russ. Are you planning on watching it, or are you like? I know you said you're like not really a fan of it.
I want to watch it. I didn't like the gameplay of the game, but
Yeah.
I'm interested in the story. I do kind of know what happens in the story, so it's not like it's going to be full spoilers for me or anything. But
Okay.
I mean, it's a horror show. Oh my god, the first opening part was pretty scary. I love the fact that they made they're like impervious to damage, like when Nana gets infected and you hear her like bones crunch and she just gets back up. I'm like, oh Jesus.
Yeah, that opening scene is like a standout scene when they show the like the talk show. That was like a standout scene. I love that. But other things that I love is it'll be my last thoughts on it before I go with everyone else's final thoughts. I love that they are treating everyone like they haven't played the game, but they're also treating the people that have played it like subverting expectations, like the whole like when they crashed, like it tricked you, like when she's turning to the car that's about to hit them and you think that's when it's gonna happen. No, it doesn't. It was with the plane that crashed that did it in the show. And it's like I was like, oh wow, it just subverted it just slightly, but it still subverted it.
Well, and like even like the little story element changes. It's like it's not enough to where it's like, okay, this is upsetting. It changes the character's motives. It's like, okay, well, this makes sense from a show perspective. If you're hooking a new viewer, they're not going to be playing this, so you have to like make the motives and stuff a little bit greater to advance the plot, keep people emotionally invested.
Yep. All right. And yeah, so those are the does anyone have any final thoughts on Last of Us?
It's good. Watch it.
Yeah. All right. Cool. So that was it. We had a lot of bad news, but we also had a lot of good news. Remember to check out the new merch. Marissa did an excellent job, and everyone here is on the shirt. So yeah, make sure to check it out. Everyone's gonna be able to do their outro. So let's start with you, Russ. Where can everyone find you at?
I'm on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, pretty much everywhere at CryoWeasel. I mostly post video game stuff, 3D printing stuff. Yeah.
I saw your the saving pod from Super Metroid. Yeah,
That was cute.
that was super cool.
It turned out good.
I was like, man, I want that. it looked really good. So that's awesome. All right, Brandon, where can everyone find you at?
Twitch.tv/DCMHUB. I play Overwatch and Sea of Thieves on stream.
Nice. Ivan.
Find me hopefully on the next podcast.
On the next one, hopefully. Yeah.
Or the shirt.
You have or the shirt, yeah. You finally have your place, so fingers crossed that you can, and maybe you'll be able to do the next Mario Kart one that we do when Wave 4 drops.
Maybe because I left my Mario Kart copy by accident at home.
Oh, you did? Okay, maybe not then. We'll see. All right, Brittany, where can everyone find you at?
You can find me at SkrillerWolf on just about everything.
Okay.
Twitch, YouTube, Twitter, all of them. Even ones that I don't use. I think I've got on there just to claim the name.
Just to claim the name? Okay. Well, that is great. I'm going to go ahead and end it there. Obviously, you guys can find me here or on Chowtown. New video drops next week. and it'll be the premiere of a new series. I love you guys, and thank you for the support. This was episode 50, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye, everyone.